In this video, we're looking at angles between lines and planes. So this question says, find the angle between the plane 2x plus y minus 3z equals 10 and the line x plus 3 over 2 equals y minus 2 over minus 2 equals z minus 1 over 4. Okay, so there's a particular way of representing this which makes it all much easier. So in general, what you have is a plane like this, and then a line, let's say it crosses here and continues underneath. So what do we mean by the angle between the line and the plane? Well, we mean the angle sort of formed by the line here and sort of its shadow on the plane, which is kind of looking something like this underneath. Is that angle there? Now, that's quite fiddly to find. A much easier angle to find is the angle between a line and the perpendicular to the plane. Remember, it's very easy to find a vector that's perpendicular to a plane, and since that perpendicular is 90 degrees to the line here, we know that the angle between the line and the plane is just 90 minus the angle between the perpendicular and the line. So typically, we'll represent it something like this. We'll imagine peering at a plane across its sort of side, so it appears to just be a line. So imagine like looking at a sheet of paper directly along it, so you don't really see its thickness or its width. And then you imagine a line like this. And so the angle that we're actually interested in is this angle here, but the angle we're going to find is the angle between the normal and the line, and do 90 minus that. So in the case of this question here, what is that? Well, our plane is this here. So written out in dot product form, that's r dotted with 2, 1, minus 3 equals 10. So I know that the normal vector to the plane is the vector 2, 1, minus 3. Now, how about this? So this is written in Cartesian form, but I can very easily convert that into vector form, because recall that the vector equation of a line is just the position, which is minus 3, 2, 1, plus lambda of the direction, which in this case is 2, minus 2, 4. Okay, now, of course, we could simplify that down to 1, minus 1, 2, but let's not even bother. What we have then is that the direction vector of our line here is 2, minus 1, 2, and the direction of this perpendicular is 2, 1, minus 3. So we're going to find the angle between those two lines, or those two vectors, using the dot product. So we use the fact that 2, 1, minus 3 dotted with 2, minus 2, 4 must be equal to the modulus of 2, 1, minus 3, which is 4, square root of 4 plus 1 plus 9, multiplied by the modulus of this, which is square root of 4 plus 16, multiplied by cos of the angle between them. So we'll work out the dot product here. It's 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times negative 2 is minus 2, and minus 3 times 4 is minus 12. That equals the square root of 14 multiplied by the square root of 24 multiplied by cos theta. So, and our theta is this one here. So cos theta is equal to, what have we got over here? 4 minus 2 is 2, minus 12 is minus 10. Divided by root 14, root 24. So that means that theta is 123.1. Okay, pause a moment, because that doesn't look exactly right, does it? That looks bigger than it should be. But that's okay, because we know that what we've really done then is just we found the obtuse angle between these two vectors. The acute angle is just 180 minus that. So the theta that we actually want here is 56.9. So where is that on our picture? Well, the 56.9 is here, and the angle we actually found was this. So it was still the angle between the normal here and the line, but we just found this bit of it. So we've got that bit now, the acute angle, and that means that the angle between the plane and the line is just 90 minus that. So 90 minus 56.9 is 33.1. So that's the process. You'll always just be finding the angle between the direction vector of a line and the normal to the plane. You want the acute angle between those two, and you can just do 90 minus that to get the angle between the line and the plane. Let's have a look at a fiddlier question. So show that the points A, B, C and D are not coplanar. That means they don't all lie on the same plane. We're then going to find the angle between the plane containing A, B and C and the line segment AD. Okay, so what's a picture for this? Well, A, B and C, indeed any 3 points, will describe a plane as long as they're not all in a line. So here's A, B and C, and they're sitting on that plane. And we want to show that D is not, so let's put D down here. So let's say we've got A, B and C and D. Our strategy is going to be something like this. If we take the vector AB and the vector AC, we're going to be able to find a normal vector, let's call it N, which is perpendicular to AB and perpendicular to AC. What we're then going to show is that that normal vector is not perpendicular to AD. And if we can show that, then D can't be on the plane. So how do we find the vector which is normal to AB and AC? Well, we could convert this into vector form, we'll find a parametric or vector form of the plane and then do a conversion. I want to show you a nice alternative way of doing it. First, let's find the vector AB and the vector AC, because we're going to use these. So AB is the point B minus the point A, so that's 1, and 0 minus minus 1 is 1, 2 minus 0 is 2, and the point A, the vector AC is coordinates of C minus coordinates of A. So minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4, 5 minus minus 1 is 6, and 3 minus 0 is 3. Okay, so what can I say about this normal vector? Well, remember that this can be scaled any way you like. So for instance, if it turns out that that vector is 1, 3, minus 2, well, if the plane is normal to that, then it's also normal to 2, 6, minus 4. And it's also normal to 100, 300, minus 200. Basically, we could scale this up as much as we wanted. In the positive or negative direction, it will still be normal to the plane. So this means I'll be able to find some vector with a 1 up here, let's say 1 and then P and then Q, which is perpendicular to AB and AC. Now, if it turns out that the vector that was perpendicular to them had a 0 here, well, you'll just hit a contradiction, you're working, and then you can just repeat the trick, but with a 1 here. But that's very unlikely to happen. So let's just set this up. Let's have AB dotted with N equals 0. And when I do that, I get 1 times 1 plus 1 times P plus 2 times Q should equal 0, because I want AB to be normal to that vector. And let's do the same for AC and this N. So that's minus 4 times 1, so minus 4, and then plus 6P plus 3Q equals 0. Solve that using a calculator, and we get P equals 11 ninths and Q equals minus 10 ninths. Okay, looks horrible, but all we need to do now to make that look much nicer is just scale it up. So I've got 1, I've got 11 ninths, and I've got minus 10 ninths. But remember, we said we can just multiply this by whatever we want. That just makes this vector longer. So the perpendicular that I can work with can just be this multiplied by 9. So that's 9 11 minus 10. So there is a vector which is perpendicular to AB and AC. Let's see if it's perpendicular to AD. So what is AD? Well, AD is the coordinates of D minus coordinates of A. So that's 0 minus 3 is minus 3, 1 minus minus 1 is 2, and 3 minus 0 is 3. And now when we dot our newly found normal vector, 9, 11, minus 10, with AD, minus 3, 2, 3, what do we get? Well, it's minus 27, plus 22, minus 30. And that's minus 35. So it's not 0. So what we've shown is that AD is not perpendicular to this vector n. So therefore, they are not coplanar. So it's a fairly long process, but I think it's a really useful exercise, and it's a great kind of way of thinking about this to realise that your normal vector can be any length, and so in particular it could have a 1 here. If once you set that to 1, it allows you to find the others quite easily, and then you can just scale up for nice numbers. Okay, find the angle between the plane containing A, B, and C and the line segment AD. So now we say, well, here's the plane containing A, B, and C. And we know that its normal, the one we just found over here, is 9, 11, minus 10. So that normal vector there is 9, 11, minus 10. And now we're considering the line segment AD. So let's say this is the point A, and this is the point D over here. We know that this vector is 3, 2, 3. So we're going to find the angle between the normal and AD. So that theta there, and we'll do 90 minus that. We want the acute angle, so we may need to do some fiddling to do that. But let's find that first. So we're going to use dot product and use the fact that minus 3, 2, 3, dotted with 9, 11, minus 10, should equal the modulus of the first one, which is the square root of 9 plus 4 plus 9, multiplied by the modulus of this one, which is root 81 plus 121 plus 100, multiplied by cos theta. Dot these together, and we've actually already done that. That's over here. That's minus 35. And that equals root 22, root 302 cos theta. So cos theta is minus 35 over root 22, root 302, which means 115.4. That's the obtuse angle. So it's just 180 minus that. So the one we actually want is 64.6. So that angle there is this one here. And so the angle between the line and the plane is 90 minus that, which is 25.4. So these are quite chunky questions, but understanding what's going on behind the hood really helps you kind of figure your way through these. Okay, that's all for now, but let's try another question in the next video. See you there.